monster, you say jam. Monster, monster. Here when I say monster, you say jam. Monster, monster. That's right, we got the green light. It's a party in the pit tonight. That's right, let's go. This is how we roll on tires that are larger than life. It doesn't matter where you're from, it's running through your blood. Time to get loud, everybody buckle up. You waited, now you made it to the greatest show on dirt. It's the Monster Jam, jam, jam. Yeah. Get loud, I wanna hear you say it with me. This is Monster Jam.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to yet another incredible Beam Monster Jam video here on the channel. I am the Arizona Motorsports Junkie, formerly known as Who's Ready for Monster Jam, and I am so happy to be back for yet another as we are here in Oakland, California, in Ring Central Coliseum, as 12 Monster Jam trucks and drivers will do battle here in this building. It has been an incredible jump in growth since we've last been here. We've got up to 700 subscribers now, and the last video was the biggest one we have ever had. There have been so many views on that video, it is absolutely ridiculous, and I wanted to thank you guys myself and for everybody here on the channel, because we have been absolutely killing it. We're actually now at 800 subscribers. We got over 40,000 views on that last video. Things are really popping off, and I'm so happy to be a part of it, and I'm excited to see what is to come. And today, we have 12 Monster Jam drivers going to town here, ready to tear it up. Let's meet those 12 competitors. We have Weston Anderson in Gravedigger, Coty Saucier in Monster Energy, John Zimmer in Dragon, Brandon Arthur in El Toro Loco, Jamie Sullivan, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Matt Pagliarulo, Jester, Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken, Scott Buetow, Team Hotwheels Firestorm, Joe Dennis, Zombie Hunter, Dawn Creten, Scarlet Bandit, and Jimmy Creten, Bounty Hunter.
It's a creation story only Monster Jam can tell. Two unidentified Monster Jam technicians have gone rogue and opened a secret facility specifically to create a new mechanical beast to challenge for Monster Jam supremacy. Hard at work on their creation, these mad technicians had no idea a cosmic red storm was about to strike Earth.
And last, but certainly not least, the one-time World Finals Freestyle Champion, Colt Stevens, ThunderROARus. So we already went over the lineup once, but let's go in a little bit more detail. We have a lot of drivers making their first appearance here on the channel. Yes, there are some seasoned veterans, but John Zimmer driving Dragon, this is his debut event. Brandon Arthur in El Toro Loco, this is his debut event. We also have a couple more here. Scott Buetow making his debut on the channel, as well as Joe Dennis, Dawn Creten, and Jimmy Creten. Now, we've got 3 competitions that these 12 drivers will be competing in today. That's Monster Jam Racing, the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and BKT Freestyle. Racing will be a bracket-style competition. The Skills Challenge will be a best attempt at a donut or two two-wheel maneuvers, and Freestyle, everyone's favorite, 2 minutes to do whatever you want on the track using as many obstacles as possible, and you need to complete 30 seconds to be able to qualify for a score. This is a big floor, there is a lot of room to work with, and this is a really good lineup, and I think that the debuts are really going to play a large role in how this event goes down. With all these drivers making their debut, they want to show off to you Monster Jam fans that they are capable of not only being good competitors, but winning competitions and winning overall event championships. And then for the guys that have been here on the channel before, guys like Coty, Saucier, and Weston, it's their job to prove that they are better than all of those newcomers. Now, the first competition of the day is Monster Jam Racing, and those 12 drivers have been seeded into a bracket by a random draw. Because there are 12 trucks in this bracket, 4 get automatic buys into the second round. That'll be Monster Mutt, Dalmatian, Gravedigger, Bounty Hunter, and Kraken. And as you see, there will be 4 first-round matchups there as well. Toro, Loco, and Jester will start it off, and we'll finish with Hotwheels, Firestorm, and Scarlet Bandit. So, let's start off the first competition of the day of the 3, Monster Jam Racing, with our very first pair. In the near lane, the gray lane, Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. He has been on the channel a couple of times, but he is taking on a newcomer on the channel. It is Brandon Arthur in El Toro Loco. Brandon Arthur is a really good racer, but his first time here on the channel, he has to show these Monster Jam Beam and G fans that he can race. Matt Pagliarulo, more of a freestyler, pretty good race to start off the night. And we're following the Stadium Championship Series West track that was ran in 2024, so it's a pretty good track, and it's a lot of skill, but Jester's pulling away. This is a bit of a surprise here. They're coming around this final turn. Jester going over the jump first, and Matt Pagliarulo takes the win. Brandon Arthur, a very good racer, but not getting a win here in his first race of his career on the channel. This track is a tough one. There's so many turns. There's a lot that goes into winning races on this track. And Matt Pagliarulo was able to stay consistent. And if he can look this good all night, he's got a chance at winning racing, which would be really huge for him because, quite frankly, he's not the best of racers, and he doesn't even have a competition win here on the channel. Just his 3rd appearance ever here. He made his debut in Detroit, and now he's got a race win here in round 1. In the next pairing in the near lane, that gray lane, the beautiful purple and gray Monster Energy driven by Coty Saucier and his opponent. Making his debut on the channel, a very new driver to monster trucks. It's Joe Dennis in the legendary Zombie Hunter, a truck that competed years ago, making its return here on the channel. This is the first time that this truck has ever competed on the channel before. We'll see how Joe Dennis can do. It's a new truck and driver combo. And Coty Saucier with a big mistake. The veteran here with a massive problem, but now he takes advantage in the turn. The rookie driving of Joe Dennis hurting him there, but Coty's making a lot of mistakes in this race. Around the final turn, though, Coty stays strong and wins the race. Joe Dennis showing a little bit of that rookiness there, a little bit too many problems in that race. Monster Energy is your winner and advances to the next round. Let's meet your next drivers here in round 1. In the gray lane, Colt Stevens is driving ThunderROARus and his opponent. In the red lane, John Zimmer, his first ever appearance on the channel in Dragon. John Zimmer, an incredible racer. I'm excited to see how he can do, but it's his debut event. There's got to be a little bit of butterflies here. We'll see if he can take home the win. They're very close going around that first important turn. Colt Stevens is wheeling down the straightaway. John Zimmer cut the turn a little too early, and Colt Stevens is up and over. He saves it, and now John Zimmer is somehow managing to cross the line too after he had all kinds of problems. That was a comedy of errors from both drivers, starting with Colt Stevens doing a slap wheelie down the race lane, and then going into the turn with too much speed. He's able to pull out an amazing save but it costs him the race as John Zimmer is able to get it done. Dragon advances into the next round. The final race of round number 1 in the gray lane. Scott Buetow, Team Hot Wheels Firestorm, that beautiful slime body, and his opponent in the red lane, Creten, Scarlet Bandit. Now, both of these drivers have been highly touted as better freestylers than racers in their careers. Scott Buetow has been close to winning a freestyle championship. Creten has finished second in a World Freestyle Championship. We'll see who wins this race and advances to round 2. Scott Buetow is pulling away. Hot Wheels looking very fast into that final turn. Look at the lead Scott Buetow has. And it's all Hot Wheels through that final jump. An easy victory. Scott Buetow looking good after 1 round of racing. Let's take a look at how this racing bracket looks after round 1. Again, 4 drivers got those automatic buys into the second round. That was Monster Mutt, Dalmatian, Gravedigger, Bounty Hunter, and Kraken. Now, the 4 drivers that advanced from round 1 were Jester, Monster Energy, Dragon, and Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. So, we've got quite a good variety of drivers here advancing into the quarterfinal round of racing. I think this is going to be a really exciting round, and it will all start off in just a moment. Our first competitors in round 2 have pulled to the line, and in the gray lane, it's Matt Pagliarulo in Jester, who looked very fast in round number 1, and his opponent. Our first look at her tonight, it is Jamie Sullivan, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Jamie Sullivan, this is her 3rd appearance here on the channel. No racing wins for her. Same thing for Matt Pagliarulo. One of them will advance to the semifinals. Jamie Sullivan a little bit too high up on the berm as Jester stays nice and neat. He goes a little wide in that turn, but it doesn't matter. He's pulling away. Matt Pagliarulo looking very fast tonight, and he is in complete control. Jester's your winner. He goes to the semifinals as Jamie Sullivan struggled throughout the racing track. Very, very good race from Matt Pagliarulo, and in 2 races tonight, he's looking like a different man in Jester. The next pairing in round number 2 features some really good racers. In the gray lane, Coty, Saucier, and Monster Energy. And the red lane, Weston Anderson in Gravedigger. Coty Saucier has no racing wins, while Weston Anderson has 4. Coty has competed in 8 events, Weston 7, so Weston has won more than half of the racing competitions he's been in. He's a big threat here tonight. Coty trying to take him down. They're very close entering the final turn. What a good race across the final jump. It's a close one and a photo finish. It looked like Gravedigger to the naked eye. And what a race from both of these drivers. And indeed, Weston Anderson gets it done and is moving on. Yet another semi-final round appearance for Weston Anderson. We have had a really good night of racing so far, and it will continue here as we are halfway through the second round. As Jimmy Creten and Bounty Hunter pulls up into the gray lane. His opponent pulling into the red lane is John Zimmer in Dragon. These are 2 veteran drivers and 2 superstar racers. Some of the best to ever do it throughout the 2010s. Go head to head right now. Both are making their debut here on the channel. One of them's going to the semi-final round. Zimmer had a lot of problems in his round 1 race, but he's somehow pulling away from Jimmy Creten. Creten's looking smooth. Dragon's all over the place, but still faster. And Jimmy Creten can't get it done at the end. Dragon's your winner. John Zimmer, he has not looked smooth and steady tonight, but man, something went wrong for Jimmy Creten in that final turn. He cut the turn a little too tight there, and unfortunately, Bounty Hunter's night in racing will come to an end. We know how much Jimmy Creten loves to race. He will not be getting a trophy here tonight. John Zimmer's a step closer as he will advance into the semi-final round, as we have 3 of those 4 semi-finalists already determined for us. But there is one more left to get, and it will come from this final pairing in round number 2. In the gray lane, it is Scott Buetow, Team Hot Wheels Firestorm, and in the red lane, it is Nick Pagliarulo for the first time of the night in Kraken. This is a good pairing. Again, 2 drivers who are more known for their freestyling skills, but again, one of them going into the semifinals. Freestyle is going to be a really great event today with how many drivers I've said are more known for freestyle. Kraken gets a little bit too tight into that center pod. That's going to slow him down, but not by much. He's right in there with Hot Wheels. He cuts the turn a little bit better. Across the final jump, it's a photo finish. My goodness, I don't think I know who won. It might have been Hot Wheels. We're going to look at the replay here. Very close racing indeed. Wow, that is a close one. We need to get the official word from our officials here. My goodness, what a crazy race that was. An official word, your winner is Scott Buetow, Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. What a race to cap off the second round. It does not get much better than that here at Monster Jam. Racing is as tough and as fast and anticipated as it gets, and 4 drivers remain as we enter into the semi-finals. Matt Pagliarulo and Jester looked fast all night. He will take on Weston Anderson and Gravedigger, who has been the best racer in this field in his career. He's won more than half of his races he has been in this entire career. John Zimmer in Dragon making his debut on the channel, looking very fast tonight, but he has had a lot of mistakes throughout the night, and his opponent Scott Buetow also making his debut on the channel in Team Hot Wheels Firestorm has looked really smooth all night long. So out of these 4 competitors, I'd say the 2 I highlight as favorites to win are Jester and Gravedigger, but they're going head-to-head in the semi-finals, and not only that, they are going up right now in the semi-finals. Matt Pagliarulo and Jester, and Weston Anderson and Gravedigger. Who's it gonna be? One of them will go to the final round. Both of them have been bad fast tonight. Jester looked like he got the light a little bit better. Oh no, but he has some problems in the berm, and he has to save the Jester truck, and Gravedigger has the easiest win of the night. As long as he can stay on all 4s, Weston Anderson will cross the line as a winner and will go to the final round. And there he is. Going to the final round of racing, it's Gravedigger, Weston Anderson. We're going to have to look at that again and see what went wrong with Jester. Matt Pagliarulo, he clipped that ramp a little bit too early, and that put him on the sidewalls. Had to save it. Nice save, but saves don't matter in racing. Gravedigger is your winner. Jester will return back in the skills challenge. There is one more race here in the semi-final round to determine who will go to face Weston Anderson. Will it be Scott Buetow, Team Hot Wheels Firestorm, or will it be John Zimmer in Dragon? 2 veteran drivers going head-to-head. They've been good all night. John Zimmer's had his fair share of issues, but has been fast. Scott Buetow has been smooth and steady. John Zimmer just looks faster than everyone. He's making a lot of errors out there, but it's not mattering. But now Hot Wheels is pulling away. The errors are catching up to Dragon. But Hot Wheels went too deep into that turn. Who will it be? Across the line, and it's Hot Wheels getting the win. Dragon tried to make up the ground at the end, but could not. What a great race between those 2, and a fiery battle to lead to one of them going to the final round. No better way to cap off the final 4 than with a great race leading to a Hot Wheels victory. Scott Buetow advances to the final round. It has been a great night of Monster Jam racing tonight. 12 drivers entered the bracket, and now only 2 stand at the end of the night, and there is one trophy. Only one of them can take it home, and only one of them can take home the first 12 points on the road to the overall event championship. Weston Anderson has been fast. He has won 4 of 7 racing competitions in his career. Scott Buetow, Team Hot Wheels Firestorm, this is his first event, and he has been putting on a clinic in racing tonight. He took down the really fast John Zimmer, but he's got to take down Goliath, the black and green wrecking machine that has been tormenting drivers for decades. And Weston Anderson has looked good all night long. It is time for the final round of racing. Let's crown a racing winner tonight. This is it. The pinnacle of the racing action. Every single driver that entered the bracket had the hopes of winning it, and only 2 of them stand with a chance to do so in the final round. In the gray lane, in its first ever event on the channel, it is Scott Buetow, Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. And in the red lane, in his 8th appearance on the channel, trying to get his 5th racing win, it is Weston Anderson in Gravedigger. Weston Anderson has been bad fast all night, looking almost unbeatable. Can Scott Buetow pull out the win? Gravedigger is already pulling ahead. Scott Buetow is going as hard as he can, though. He is fighting and putting down a good race. It's coming to the final turn. Who is going to win it? It's a close race, and across the line, it's a photo finish. But it looked like Weston Anderson got it done. We're going to look at the in-cab footage here of Weston Anderson in his Gravedigger truck throughout this final round race. A little taste of what it's like to drive one of these Beam Monster Jam trucks. So dialed into the track all night long, Weston Anderson drives Gravedigger for a reason. One of the top trucks in the world and one of the top drivers piloting it. And Weston Anderson was able to put down a burner and win the racing competition tonight here in Oakland. Give a round of applause for your racing winner, Weston Anderson, Gravedigger. Here's the overall point standings after that first competition of the day. Monster Jam Racing. Weston Anderson brought home the first 12, and in second place, Scott Buetow with 11 in Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. John Zimmer was able to get 10 and Matt Pagliarulo 9 for making it to the semifinals. Then you've got Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken with 8, Jimmy Creten and Bounty Hunter with 7, Coty Saucier with 6, Jamie Sullivan with 5, Dawn Creten with 4, Colt Stevens with 3, Joe Dennis 2, and Brandon Arthur 1. Now obviously, the last thing you want to do is be below 6 points entering the second competition of the day, so those drivers that are in the upper half obviously have a bit of an advantage, but we've seen it before. Anything can happen when you get into skills, and that is where we go right now. Your first competitor here in the skills challenge of the night is Brandon Arthur and El Toro Loco. As you see the criteria on the screen, donuts or two-wheel moves are allowed here in this competition. You gotta have creativity, you gotta have a difference in moves, and Brandon Arthur is gonna show us what he's got. His debut event here, driving a very fan-favorite truck. This is one of the favorites in the sport. Gonna hit the jammer, and the two-wheel skills competition is underway, and it's a slap wheelie for Brandon Arthur, a young driver comboing it up too. Nice to see a young driver attempting a move that, quite frankly, even the veterans will tell you is not the easiest of moves to pull off. Obviously, Brandon Arthur went through Monster Jam University, learned how to do all these moves, and he has really developed into a good driver, and it's nice to see him develop these skills and now put them on the main stage here at Beam Monster Jam. Going for the step up, gonna send it! Didn't really get any sky wheelie action on it, but still going for big air, blew the smoke in the air, and that is really what you like to see. A nice change of pace, not trying to do a simple move, he decides to go big, and that is something that obviously stands out to the judges. A very good run. That first move is really the one that's going to stand out to me, though. The slap wheelie, able to combo it up. I think that was something that is really going to help his score. The big air is going to help, but if he was more vertical, I think his numbers would have been even higher on this run, but unfortunately didn't really quite get that. The ramp not angled for that kind of air. Let's find out what the score is. It's a 7.784, a good way to start off the Great Clip Skills Challenge here in Oakland. Brandon Arthur doing a very good job. Competitor number 2 here in the Great Clip Skills Challenge in his rookie Monster Jam season, making his debut here in the BeamNG channel. It's Joe Dennis in Zombie Hunter. This Zombie Hunter truck did not last very long in the Monster Jam scene. It was very short-lived, driven by Lee O'Donnell and Miranda Kozad. Nice to see Joe Dennis bringing it out of retirement for this event here in Oakland. A very cool truck, and I'm really happy to see it. Intrigued to see what Joe Dennis tries. He is a young driver and obviously still trying to develop those skills. Goes for a stoppie. Very solid stoppie from Joe Dennis here. This is how you do a two-wheel move. Very solid, and he's going to combo it a little bit as well. That's a very good first move there. Textbook on the combo, and obviously that's something that a lot of these young drivers have been able to do because Tom Mentz teaches it better than any, but also because Tristan England and Camden Murphy have taken over a lot of the teaching at Monster Jam University as well, and Tristan England very good at it, and a nice sky wheelie from Zombie Hunter there, dragging the tail. Wow, that was a good move, and Zombie Hunter coming to play here in Oakland. That's going to be a good number, and certainly is going to set a nice bar, obviously, assuming it will take the lead. Looking at this first move yet again on the video board, the super glue to the action replay, the textbook combo. He got 3 moves in there, the stoppie, the moonwalk, and I'll count that as a little wheelie, but this sky wheelie, that was absolutely perfect. I mean, I talked about veterans talking about old school moves. Nothing more old school than a sky wheel, the first ever two-wheel move Monster Jam ever had. Very, very good, and certainly a good showing from Joe Dennis. We'll find out what the number is in just a moment as El Toro Loco has that bar set at a 7.784. The score for Zombie Hunter and Joe Dennis is 7.916, enough for first, but I feel like that number could have been a lot higher, so that definitely leaves a lot of room for some further leads to be taken over here from the rest of the competitors as we continue here in the Skills Challenge with your third competitor of the night. It is Colt Stevens in ThunderROARus. Now the Apex Predator making its 6th appearance here on the channel. Not a single competition win for Colt Stevens in the first 5, so obviously he would love to grab one here today. He debuted in San Antonio driving the Doomsday truck. He has competed in Doomsday a couple of times, but he has been driving ThunderROARus for the last 3. So nice to see him here trying to bicycle. Tried to combo it into a moonwalk, but really didn't get a good move out of it. And unfortunately, really, that ramp didn't help him out at all because that really prevented him from comboing it up the way he would have liked. Now, the last time we saw Colt Stevens was in Houston. He placed 2nd overall, so he really has to be feeling good entering today's event, but only got 3 points in racing, trying to get a lot here in skills. Now, the problem is Joe Dennis had a very good run, but his number wasn't very high, so I'm intrigued to see how that'll end up impacting the rest of this competition. ThunderROARus trying a stoppie. Solid stoppie attempt from Colt Stevens. ThunderROARus is balanced perfectly on the front 2 wheels. Now that was a very good second move, and I think that'll end up helping his score out a lot, but the issue is this first one definitely left a lot to be desired, but I like the attempt at a bicycle. Not a lot of drivers do that, and that is something that is certainly a bit of a more difficult move, and I think the judges will have to take that into account as they score this run from Colt Stevens. But this second move, obviously a much better one than the first. That stop, he was able to be walked a long, long way, and he really got himself a good one. The number is really the only thing that matters, though. Zombie Hunter, your score to beat at a 7.916. We'll see, isn't enough for Colt Stevens and ThunderROARus. It is at an 8.303, so obviously the judges liked the bicycle. They valued that very highly, and they thought that was enough to push him over the edge. We continue here in the Skills Challenge with our fourth competitor. And the fourth competitor here tonight will be Dawn Creten in Scarlet Bandit. Dawn Creten was knocked out in the final race of round 1 tonight. A member of 2 Extreme Racing team, which is led by Jimmy Creten, the driver of Bounty Hunter, also her husband. So very cool to have the husband and wife team going head-to-head here on the track in Oakland. These two have gotten to drive together for decades, not only on the Monster Jam circuit, but around the world and in independent events. Now, nice to see them here on Beam Monster Jam, and Dawn Creten is going to try a donut. Our first look at that tonight. We'll see if this can help her get a good number. Dawn Creten is very good at doing donuts. She's very comfortable with them. A very good donut from Scarlet Bandit. I don't think that's going to be enough for her to take home the victory here, and it's her first event on this channel, so trying to show these fans what she's made of. We're going to take a look at the replay one more time for this donut. She was spinning for a good bit of time too, but again, sometimes in this competition a donut is really just a safer way of saying that you don't feel comfortable attempting the 2 moves on 2 wheels, or you're just trying to get yourself a good bit of points because you know you're not going to really get a high number. So we'll see how the judges react. We'll see what they ended up thinking of this run. Score to beat that 8.303 for Colt Stevens in ThunderROARus. Just to remind you of that. And Dawn Creten and Scarlet Bandit gets 4th place with a 7.259. Straight from the dog pound, your next competitor is Jamie Sullivan, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Now, Jamie Sullivan has been a very nice surprise in her first couple events here on the channel. She has competed in 2 before today, and I must say she's done a very good job in both of them. She doesn't have a single competition win, but she's come close in a few of them. Made her debut back in Glendale, so now she gets a chance to drive here in Oakland. The second driver who got herself on top of that step up and opted not to go for it and to come over here. We saw Joe Dennis do that. She drags the tongue of the Monster Mutt Dalmatian on the floor and will combo it back. She's still got it comboed. Good job. That is how you keep that combo working. She was only a few feet off the ground with that truck, but she was able to combo it well. She's kind of in the same spot here, and she's able to do it again. Now that is a really good move, and Jamie Sullivan showcasing her comboing skills, and while they're not really incredible in terms of the moves she's getting to do, that is really a lot of talent that is required to make that move happen, and she did it seamlessly. And the best part of that for her is she still has 1 move left to go. Score to beat is still not a high one either. Colt Stevens with an 8.3, so room for Jamie Sullivan here to really grab a nice number. She's on top of this step up. I don't know what she's trying to do. It looks like maybe a reverse popper this time. She was going to throw it off the ramp in reverse, but the truck shut off for a brief moment. She's able to get it on a stoppie on that step up, and now comboing it back down again. This is really world class on the combo moves we're seeing today. Really good job by Jamie Sullivan in that run. Give a round of applause to her, because that was not an easy run to pull off, and I feel like Jamie Sullivan showing off here in Oakland, and I've got to believe that's going to be plenty enough to take the lead too. That was a very good run. We're going to take a look at it again on the Super Glue Glued to the Action replay on the video board, because Jamie Sullivan was really showing off. And this first move, just take a moment to look at the skill. She never had all four wheels on the ground. This was just absolutely perfect. And that's the key. I mean, never once did she find herself a little nervous. I mean, she really executed it brilliantly, and that's what you have to do. You have to just feel calm, cool, collected, and that's what she did. And this second move here too, the truck shut off for a moment. She's able to get it refired and was able to really pull a great move out of it, because comboing it like that is so cool. You never see people do a combo like that. That is a really good run. Both of the moves were really great, and I would definitely put that around a 9.2, maybe even a 9.3. We'll see what the judges end up giving this run. ThunderROARus is still your leader. Colt Stevens had a very good run, but that 8.303 I think will be toppled pretty handedly here. We'll see what the number is for Mutt Dalmatian. It's a 9.389, right around what I said it should be. That is a very good job by not only Jamie Sullivan, but the judges to make sure that that score was perfect for her. Very good job by Jamie Sullivan here in the Skills Challenge. Your next competitor, he is one of the top racers in the sport, but never count him out in the Skills Challenge. It's Coty Saucier, Monster Energy. Coty Saucier, that is a beautiful paint job on this Monster Energy pickup truck. It's been a while since Coty Saucier drove Monster Energy in the pickup in real life, and I will say I think this truck fit him more than any of the other ones that he has driven in his Monster Jam career. This one, such a pretty one, and obviously this paint job never was a thing in real life, so I love seeing it here in BeamNG, and I think it's really cool to see it here in the videos. And I think I just want to take a moment to appreciate the lineups and the trucks and the uniqueness of these events. It's the main reason why I commentate over them. I feel like it's such a cool thing that not only you viewers get to experience, but even me. It feels like I'm getting to witness a replica Monster Jam event with trucks and drivers that you wouldn't see at a stadium event, or driving trucks you wouldn't see, or paint jobs you wouldn't see, so it's very cool. Coty Saucier going for the bicycle. Got that thing really twisting, the suspension working. Oh my, he was flipped over for a second. He's somehow on the sidewalls. He did not just save that. That was unbelievable control of the truck by Coty Saucier. One of the most difficult saves I've ever seen. The amount of talent that was required to pull that move off, oh my gosh, I can't wait to re-look at that replay, because we've got to dissect that one again, but he's still got one more move. Going for that stoppie, and obviously it is a really good move if you could pull it off, but the truck shut down. No, that's going to really hurt his chances of taking the lead. But let's re-watch this first move here, as Coty really was in a bad spot, and right there, he's on his lid, but the momentum bounced the truck back that he was able to get a grip, and the tires just ripped him back into it. What a save from Coty. And, well, I mean, let's just look at it from another angle, because this is worth looking at many times. Right there, he is done. That is a rollover, but no, 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 not this time. Coty Saucier said not quite, but the problem is, move number 2 right here was not good enough. He's not going to be able to take an easy lead here. He might still grab a lead, because that was a great first move, but honestly, the second move was so dull that I probably would only give it about a 9.2. A valiant effort, an amazing wow moment, the move of the night. But is it going to be enough for him to be your new leader? Mutt Dalmatian is the leader currently. The score for Monster Energy is, yes, it's enough. 9.415, so the judges, they valued that move a lot, and quite honestly, I think it's fair. That was a really, really wow moment. And sometimes if a wow moment is good enough, it's deserving of a really high score, and that's what Coty Saucier got. Coming out next here in the Great Clips Skills Challenge, a one-time World Racing Champion and a one-time World Freestyle Champion. It is Jimmy Creten, Bounty Hunter. I think Jimmy Creten has 2 Freestyle Championships now that I think about it, but you know what? Someone will correct me in the comments, and that's all that matters as long as it gets corrected in the end. Love this beautiful paint job that Jimmy Creten's got rocking here as he gets ready to line up for the jammer. Let's see how he nails this slap wheelie. Well, he's got a lot of horsepower in that truck, but unfortunately the ramp got in his way, but he's comboing it. The ability to combo it there is going to help out his number, but definitely not the move he was looking to do. He's got 1 move left. I think right now he's going to need to really lay down a bombshell of a second move to take the lead here. We'll see what he can end up doing. Jimmy Creten really worked a lot to get a lot better in this skills competition, but he's going to go for a big sky wheelie. Nice air on that and a good one. Now the run itself, entertaining and good, but I don't think it's going to be enough for him to take the lead here. He still put on a valiant effort, and the number for Jimmy Creten at 8.560. Third place is a lot higher than I thought it would have been. I think the judges really love that sky wheelie, and you know, it's a good one, so that's going to help him out in the points. We'll see where he ends at the end of this competition. Coming out from the deep darkness of the ocean, it is Nick Pagliarulo, Kraken. Nick Pagliarulo is a second-generation driver, the son of Matt Pagliarulo, who we will get to see a little bit later here in this competition. And Kraken, always definitely one to watch in this competition because you never know what he's going to do. He is really not afraid to trash the truck in any way. He will go hard. He'll flip that truck over. He doesn't care. He loves to put on a good show for the fans. That is all that matters to Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken. He doesn't care about the wins, but oh no! That's not a good bicycle, and that's 1 move already. So the attempt at the bicycle was certainly a failure, and now he's got to make up for it here on move number 2. Beautiful Kraken body on top of that step up. A good spot for pictures there. Gonna try a stoppie again. Let's see if this one is a good one after the bicycle the first time was a failure. Going for the moonwalk, combos it up. Good work. Comboing it again. Great work. This is a good move from Kraken. He's going to need a big wow moment, though, if he wants to take that lead, because Coty Saucier obviously had that. So we'll see if Nick Pagliarulo can do that. Oh, no! He ran out of room on the nose. Really, it's a fine line. It is a tightrope walking act to really nail that stoppie there, because if you go a little too far, you could do what happened to him and roll over, but you want to get nice and deep because that's a cool look for the fans. We'll take a look at it here one more time on this replay. You can see really where it all failed for Nick Pagliarulo. He really tried getting it nice and deep, but the problem is, the deeper you get, you run the risk of doing this. You get caught on the nose. He was able to save it for a moment, but then he tried to get it back on the nose again, but he went a little too far this time, and the Kraken was flipped over. A good thank you to our recovery team to get Kraken flipped over. Hopefully the crew can get that truck ready to go for freestyle, because you never want to miss a Kraken freestyle. They might not be the longest ones, but he always goes full send mode. Monster Energy, still your current leader. The score for Kraken is a 7.114, and that truck looks like it's got a lot of problems right now, so an 8th place finish, and it seems like there's a lot of repairs that need to be done on the Kraken truck before he can come back out for freestyle. Hopefully that thing can make it back regardless. A good move from Nick Pagliarulo, but not quite the way he wanted to go out here in skills. Now Nick Pagliarulo's father, Matt Pagliarulo, in Jester, will hit the track for his skills challenge run. Matt Pagliarulo, another guy who is really known for his freestyling skills, but he is definitely not afraid to fly. We've seen him do a lot of donuts. We've also seen him do a lot of really big sky wheelies in this competition. He loves to do the slap wheelies, and he loves to do the sky wheelies, so I'm sure that's probably quite in line with what we're going to see here today, and the fact that he's lining up for the jammer, I think, provides a little bit more evidence towards my statement. Backing up my claim there, going for the slap wheelie. Good slap wheelie from Jester, comboing it, keep it together, good job. You can really flip that truck over easily by comboing it the way he did, by walking it up and over that ramp. There is 1,000 different ways for that truck to flip over, but he kept it under control, did a good job, and Jester will get a crack at his second move. Now it looks like the way he is lining up on the track, I do think a sky wheelie is in order for Jester here. Yes, here he goes to the step up, nice air, trying to get it past vertical, a hard landing. Great sky wheelie, great air, but it could have been a lot higher. And I think that other ramp is a little bit better for the sky wheelies, as we saw some of the drivers earlier in the night try. This first slap wheelie was really, really good. He angled it a little bit differently off the jammer to make sure that he didn't run into that ramp that got in the way of Jimmy Creten before. And then he goes for this big sky wheelie off the step up, and man, he put that foot to the floor trying to pitch the truck backwards any more than he possibly could. And while he was really high up there, he really didn't get much past 45 degrees. I like the effort from Jester, but at the end of the day, I don't think that's going to get it done either. We'll see what the judges ended up giving him, because Matt Pagliarulo still, I mean, I mentioned the two moves he does the most often. He tried them and he executed them very well. So that score to beat still belonging to Monster Energy. The score for Jester is an 8.896, so he's able to get third place. That's the second driver in the last few that is able to take the lead because of a big sky, or take a higher number because of a big sky wheelie that I quite frankly didn't think that they deserved. So good for Matt Pagliarulo, and his points right now are feeling fantastic entering freestyle. We'll see where they end up at the end of the night. Only a couple drivers remaining here in this field. John Zimmer in Dragon is up next. Only 3 trucks remain, including this Dragon truck. And John Zimmer, another guy who really has not gotten a ton of reps in this competition in his career. A guy who loves to do the reverse popper. He also does a lot of slap wheelies. Not a big stoppy guy, but he's trying one here. I like John Zimmer trying the new move. Really not done these many times, so we'll see how he can do. Obviously, this is a tough move. The old dog learning some new tricks, and he's comboing it too. Good wheelie after it on one wheel for a brief moment. That was a great move from Dragon. He's still got one more. Now, I think an important thing to remember here is, while yes, Coty Saucier had that amazing wow moment, and he's in the top spot with that wow moment, his second move wasn't great. So if you can have 2 really amazing and perfect moves, you might be able to take the lead. This second move, yet another stoppie. So while I said he doesn't do them very often, he's certainly doing them quite a lot here in Oakland, and really doing them well. Getting close to that ramp. The step-up ramp was in his way, and he will set it down. So 2 very good moves. At the end of the day, I don't know how good enough that'll be to take the lead, but 2 very solid moves from John Zimmer here in the Dragon truck. So the scores are locked in. The score to beat for Monster Energy, a 9.415, and the score is an 8.848 for John Zimmer in Dragon. So he's actually below Matt Pagliarulo there. Definitely a bit of a tough break for him to not be able to get a little bit higher. That was a good run from John Zimmer, as there's now only 2 competitors left here in this skills challenge. And this one is the runner-up in the racing competition, Scott Buetow, Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. Scott Buetow really never got a handle on this competition. He did a lot of sky wheelies and slap wheelies, never really tried the stoppies much. He's going to go for a sky wheelie here. Nice air! And good to control it on the landing. Not much landing room there, so a good job. Doesn't have much room to really let the truck run out, so he was able to keep it controlled and still get a good sky wheelie at it. And we've seen the judges tonight have been favoring the drivers who have done those big air sky wheelies. So now let's see what he goes for on move number 2. I mentioned he does a lot of sky wheelies and a lot of slap wheelies, and I think that's what he is going to try here. Now, you've got to be careful. There's a lot of those ramps in your way if you hit it straight on, and it looks like that's how he's aimed. We saw Matt Pagliarulo attempt it at a bit of a different angle, and it paid off for him as he was able to really get a very good slap wheelie as he will hit the jammer. Oh, he goes for a big air instead! Very nice! He decided, I'm just going to send it. That is how you really impress the judges. We'll see how they score that. Obviously, the judges have been really favoring the big air and those sky wheelies tonight, and I like that it's a bit of a different approach. This first one really took a nice, neat, and controlled approach, and I like that. And on the second one, he decided to just rear back and fire and go for some huge air. Look at this air on the sky wheelie. That was huge, and I like seeing it from that angle too. Could have broken a lot on the back end on the landing, but he did not. And that was really good. Full commitment, full sending as well. Let's see what the number is. I don't think it's enough to take the lead or your best run of the night, but I'd say that you probably finish in the top half, especially considering what we've seen Matt Pagliarulo and Jimmy Creten get because of sky wheelies. Monster Energy still in first place right now, and the score for Hot Wheels is an 8.799, so kind of right in that same general area as Bounty Hunter and Jester, the two drivers who also tried those big sky wheelies. So Hot Wheels looking pretty good, and there's one competitor left. Bad to the bone for over 40 years, Weston Anderson, Gravedigger. Weston Anderson, your racing winner tonight. Trying to double down, trying to add 12 more points. He wants that overall event championship. That's obviously the goal for everybody out here today. They want to come out here and try and grab that overall event championship. This is his 7th event here on the channel. He's only got one overall event championship. He's had a lot of really good competitors, and now he's going to try and add a skills win to his resume. He does not have any of these in his career. Combos it up after the nice stoppie, so he's able to get a nice combo in there, and that is how you really execute it. He's got a lot of room to move after he's popped it back down in the stoppie again. Moonwalks it now, combos it again on the rear 2 wheels. Very good. Sets it down, and he really wanted to combo it a little bit more than he did. You saw him try another move, but not able to execute it. So, it was a good move, but it was not exactly what he was going for, not as full of a move as he wanted, and that's kind of been the problem for Weston Anderson and why he hasn't gotten any 2-wheel skills wins, because he hasn't been able to really nail all of his moves. We know this guy can do some crazy, crazy stuff, but he hasn't been able to execute them well enough to be able to get wins. He's lining up for the backflip ramp here. We have not seen a single driver tonight hit this backflip ramp in this competition. And I mentioned it in racing, and I've said it a few times here, this field is a very heavy racing and freestyle field. Half the field is great at racing mainly, and the other half is mainly great in freestyle. We don't have many drivers who really are killers here in this skills challenge. Weston Anderson is really the only one, and he's using the backflip to his advantage. Look at this stoppie. This is beautiful. Getting towards the backflip ramp, but he hits it and sets it down on it again, and that's going to be the end of his run. He's going to have to try and work it off, but his run is already over here. But now he's just trying to get Gravedigger off of that container, which he will. So his run is done, and I think yet another time where Weston Anderson, the promise of a good run is not followed by the fulfillment of a good run. And I feel like Weston Anderson's got to be kicking himself a little bit that he just can't quite seem to get a perfect skills run. We know Weston Anderson can do it, but he has not been able to showcase it here on the channel quite yet. And this run definitely another one that I think left a little bit to be desired. It's still a good run, and I think it's still going to place him probably in the top half of competitors. But I think at the end of the day, he could have done way better, and he'll tell you himself, this was not the greatest of runs for Weston Anderson. This second move was definitely a good one. I like that he used the backflip ramp, and obviously anytime you can do a maximum moonwalk and you can really walk it a long way, it catches the eye of the fans. But again, the maximum moonwalk is a move that is not the most exciting. We've seen a lot of drivers try it, and it never really gets the scores that you want to see. It's more of just going to get a high score, but not the highest. So he was able to set it down on the ramp, was able to work it off. We'll see what the number is. This is your final competitor. It's either going to be Coty Saucier in Monster Energy, who had that 9.4 as the score to beat. Gravedigger got a 9.590, and he is your winner here in the Skills Challenge, and he will take home his first Skills Challenge win of his career. Congratulations to Weston Anderson. It was definitely not your best run of the night, and I heavily disagree with that, and we've got a lot of boos going out throughout the crowd right now because I quite frankly agree with them. That was not your best run of the night, and that did not deserve to win, but Weston Anderson brings home yet another trophy and is your skills winner tonight. Let's review the overall point standings here in Oakland, California, as Weston Anderson in Gravedigger has 24 on the day. A very good, perfect event so far with one competition left. And there's really nobody even close at this point. Matt Pagliarulo and John Zimmer and Scott Buetow all tied with 18 in second place, but Weston with 24, I mean, 6 points out entering freestyle. They're going to need Weston Anderson to really flop in freestyle. We will see what happens, but before we do that, we're going to take a brief break, and we will return with Monster Jam Freestyle. Welcome back, Monster Jam fans, to Oakland, California, here at Ring Central Coliseum, as we take a look at the overall point standings again one more time to remind you of where they sit as we enter Monster Jam Freestyle. We have ourselves a really good field of trucks here, and I said it throughout racing and skills. This is a heavy freestyle lineup. I'm excited to see how these drivers handle the track here in Oakland. But before we do that, I want your help as we get into the Monster Jam Freestyle competition. Wherever you are right now, I want you to take your hands and I want you to move them up and down with me on the beat. We're going to do it just like they do at Monster Jam with the lights, but instead I want you to do it with your hands. Ready? We're going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and keep her going along with the beat, and all of us here are flapping our arms around as we get ready for Monster Jam Freestyle here in Oakland. Fans, make some noise. It is time for Monster Jam Freestyle! Who is ready to go? We have 12 drivers that are ready to compete for 2 minutes on the track. And they are all strapped in and ready to roll. The first competitor of the night will be Brandon Arthur in the Crazy Bull El Toro Loco. Freestyle criteria: you need to complete 30 seconds in order to qualify for a score. We're looking for use of obstacles, realism, creativity, combinations of moves, technical moves, and all other kinds of things. Saves, wow moments, you name it. If they do it in this run, it's going to be scored, and we're starting right now. El Toro Loco, nice air. Now, Brandon Arthur is one of the few drivers in this field who is a racer. Now, that doesn't mean he can't freestyle. This kid certainly can lay down a good one. He's gotten to drive a lot in international events. Now here in Oakland, California, his Monster Jam debut here on BMG is a stadium as well, so I'm excited to see how he can do. That's kind of the thing with this lineup. We've got a lot of drivers who are really just primary racers and a lot of drivers who are primary freestylers. So Brandon Arthur, one of the guys who's primarily a racer, but he is definitely one of the top freestylers out of those primary racer group. Good use of the floor right now, and this is our first look at this full track, because a lot of these obstacles were not used in racing, and a lot of them were not needed to be used in skills, so this is our first chance at seeing how some of these other ramps are going to send the drivers. Brandon Arthur, really the test case, and he's getting a lot of big air in here, comboing some things up too. This is a very good lead-off freestyle, and this is what you look to see. You want a driver coming out first to get big air, and man, that was a hard hit, and he broke off the back right wheel. I knew that something was going to go wrong on that jump because he was just pitched a little too far to the right and snapped that entire wheel off. Too bad. So his run will come to an end a little bit early, but I like the way this run was going. I like the way he used the whole floor. This is a really good freestyle, but right here it ended. Look at that back right. It just completely folded in and came right off. And that wheel just got shot out like it was shot out of a cannon there. Look at it inside the truck. How it must have felt in there if you're Brandon Arthur. Thankfully, that Monster Jam safety equipment so top-notch. He barely even felt it, but that truck certainly felt it, and his run is over. The score is a 7.673, and yet another good number to start the night. Your next freestyler, this is Creten in Scarlet Bandit. Creten is the wife of Jimmy Creten. This is her debut show here on the channel, and now I mentioned it earlier on. Creten was 1 place away and 1 point away from being a World Finals champion in Monster Jam in 2008. She finished second behind Adam Anderson and Taz with an incredible save and wow moment. And now she's going to try and get a freestyle win here in Oakland, California. She's way past her prime in Monster Jam, but she can still lay down a good run. Now, Dawn Creten definitely not afraid to hit big obstacles. Something she is not is afraid. She is a very fearless woman. Nice air there when she was able to lock up the brakes to really straighten out the truck. And obviously a lot of these drivers kind of have one number circled in their mind, and that is 30 seconds. You want to get through 30. Dawn got a little bit wild there and almost flipped her over right at that 30-second mark. You want to qualify for a score. The last thing you really want to do is come out here and not complete those 30 seconds. You at least want to get a score. I mean, obviously if you go out with a bang, sometimes that's okay, but at the end of the day, a lot of fans go and just look at the results page on the Monster Jam website, so you want to at least have a number up there. Halfway through her run right now, good combo. It's definitely not at the same level we saw from Brandon Arthur, but at the same time, Brandon Arthur didn't fill the clock. So if Dawn Creten can do that, she might take the lead. Oh no, she's in a bad spot. Can she save it? Holy cow, Dawn Creten with a sidewall save. She was put in a really awful spot, but she was given all the opportunity in the world to save that truck. And, you know, Jimmy Creten's got to be loving it in his cab. Dawn Creten going back to her heyday here with 30 seconds left. This is really a good run from Dawn Creten. She finally picked it up with about 50 seconds left. And it really started with that slap wheelie. It just sent her off to the wrong way. She was able to pull out an amazing save, and I always have said it, Dawn Creten, an amazing driver. She just really pulled back a lot towards the end of her career, but showing signs today of why she was once touted as one of the top freestylers in the sport. Her time is up, and that is the end of her run. A round of applause for Dawn Creten. We're obviously going to take a look at some of the highlights of that run one more time, because there were a couple of them. Look at this replay. So she really sprinkled in the first minute plus of her run with just kind of filler moves. She made sure that she got to that second half of her run, and obviously big that she was able to fill the clock, because Brandon Arthur could not do that. Obviously you love to see when a driver fills the clock, but this is the moment here. That sky wheelie was huge, and it landed her in an awkward way, put her into the sidewalls, and she was given a chance to save it. She stabbed the throttle, throttled out, and got a beauty of a save there. And Dawn Creten, you know, is going to take the lead. The question is, what will the number be? It's an 8.191, and a very good showing from Dawn Creten and Scarlet Bandit here in Oakland. Next up, he is hunting the undead. Joe Dennis, Zombie Hunter. I'm excited to see this freestyle from Joe Dennis, because Joe Dennis is a pretty good freestyler in his own right. He's really coming into his own as a Monster Jam driver, and I think a lot of people believe that he's got a nice, bright future with this sport, and I'm excited to see how he does today here at Oakland, California. This beautiful body, quite honestly, as pretty as it is, it's a little too intact for my liking, and I feel like Joe Dennis is a good candidate to rip it all apart. He starts off his run, goes for the jammer. Got 120 seconds on the clock. Joe Dennis, I really don't know much of how he freestyles, so I'm excited to see what he could do, but he's airing it out already. Use that car stack to get big air. Now, Dawn Creten did have the wow moment in her run, but didn't get a big number. Oh my, hard landing on the back right there, but it's okay. That almost was really bad, but quite honestly, the cars saved him a little bit. Really could have flipped over early. He now qualifies for a score. Hits the car stack again. He likes those car stacks, obviously, and they really are sending him sideways. But thankfully, the truck has not flipped over yet. Nice! Oh, boy! Oh, my! Nice save! A lot of that was all just luck. But he's still on all fours after a wild move, and now he's got a wow moment in there, too, and flying off the other jammer. Don Creten had the wow moment off the jammer. Now Joe Dennis has one of his own here in Zombie Hunter. And this is a good freestyle run. He's been really smooth. I like it. Is he going to go for the backflip? No, not yet, at least. I'd be surprised if he goes for it in general. Obviously, just his first event here on the channel, and a rookie driver. A little bit of smoke coming out of the truck, but it seems like it's still okay. He's got 15 seconds left. Gonna hit that jammer one more time, and maybe got time for one more move here. What is he going for? Is he going for the 8-pack? Yes, he is at the end of the time. Oh my, doesn't get the revolution on it, but he saves it. Keep it saved. He needs to keep that thing going. Oh yeah. What a great way to end the run for Joe Dennis. The first wow moment was a big one. We'll take a look at that one in just a moment, but this run was a very good one. This is the big wow moment. Didn't hit the jammer straight. It sent him off to the side. The truck somehow didn't break, and it flipped itself back over. But this is the huge one at the end. The 8-pack, he didn't hit it right, but he was able to save it. He overcorrected, but the landing kept him on the rear tailgate. So the Zombie Hunter truck didn't flip over. It had two big wow moments. Look at it inside the cab, coming up short. Oh my! What a wild ride Joe Dennis just had. Goodness gracious, that was a really good run, and quite honestly, I probably would give that, for a Beam and G freestyle, that's a good 9 flat. That was a very good run, and welcome to the show there for Joe Dennis. So Toro Loco is still in the top spot with an 8, and now 8.662 for Joe Dennis puts him in the top spot currently. Zombie Hunter is your new leader. Very good run, and a welcome to the show for Joe Dennis. That theme song can only mean one thing. It's time for the Apex Predator, Colt Stevens, ThunderROARus. Colt Stevens is an amazing freestyler, and this floor has a ton of room. And the one thing Colt Stevens loves to do in his freestyle runs is fly, and this track certainly will allow it. He starts off his run with big air, just as I said. He loves to fly, starts it off by flying. And oh my, that's another big hit, and it sends him in a weird way, but ThunderROARus still going. Good recovery. This is a very good start to the freestyle run. Already 20 seconds in, and he's certainly showing a desire to get airborne. ThunderROARus is flying in this run. He's completed 30 seconds, so he will get a score. The question is, how high will it be, and how far in this run is he going to go? We've seen a lot of really good freestyles from Colt Stevens on this channel. He doesn't have a freestyle win, but he's certainly come close a couple of times. Nice combo and the sky wheelie. That ramp has not been good for sky wheelies tonight, but he hit it just right. My, oh my, the air ThunderROARus is getting is really great. His 6th appearance here on the channel, and with each one he gets better and better, and obviously the freestyles keep getting more exciting. 45 seconds left. Heading straight for that car stack. It sends him a little bit crooked, but again, he's able to land it. I mean, these trucks are taking some heavy landings tonight and able to move with them. He's going to the backflip. The first driver to attempt it. Will he land it cleanly? Yes, he will. That was a perfect backflip, and he's still got 30 seconds left. So you've checked off the main box. Now you can go. Oh, that ramp was not angled right. Oh, gosh. Gonna require a nice save and a lot of good driving. Wow, that was on the ragged edge. Oh, my goodness. How is this truck still on all fours? How is it getting to make one more move? I don't know what just happened, but ThunderROARus is done, and that was a good run. He's going to send it one more time, and this truck just will not break. It's almost like Colt Stevens is trying to break the thing, trying to make his crew chief work, but she's not going to have to do a thing. That truck went through a beating in that freestyle, and I can't wait to see the one move. I mean, that was a great combo, but that one move after the backflip, he hit that ramp and, you know, to kind of break the fourth wall here. It happens a lot in the video games. If you hit a ramp too hard, happens a lot in rigs of rods, the back wheels will kind of get stuck and then it'll kind of nosedive. That's what happened here, and that's not really going to lead to a good move, but ThunderROARus able to pull out a great save from it. Look at this. He was flip-flopping from side to side. Oh, wow. I can't wait to watch this on the end cab. Watch the steering wheel from Colt Stevens here. Look at how he saves this truck. This is not luck. This is all pure talent. Hacking at the wheel. Look at it go from one side to the other. That was a masterclass, and this is definitely going to be close to the top spot. I would argue right around it, if not your new leader. No matter what, though, it's definitely going to be close, but obviously Zombie Hunter in the top spot had those wow moments, and that's what you have to remember, but it's enough. Colt Stevens and ThunderROARus 9.186 is your new leader. Your next competitor, Jimmy Creten in Bounty Hunter, is already off and running right out of his parking spot. Not wasting any time. He's letting these fans know that he is here to play in freestyle. Jimmy Creten is a past World Finals freestyle champion, so this guy has been on the top of the mountain before. But how will it fare here in Oakland, California? Another guy a little bit past his prime, just like his wife, Dawn, but don't you count Jimmy Creten out. This man can do some good stuff. Love getting to hear the Pantera in the background, always motivating whenever Jimmy Creten's out there. To hear this theme song, it is one of the most hyped theme songs out there. Jimmy having a good run so far. He's not really gone for some big air. I feel like he's maybe running at about 80% right now, keeping a little bit reserved in the tank for the rest of the run. You can tell he wants to fill the clock. That's big air. Halfway through now officially, gonna combo it. Ooh, a little twisted. That landing was smooth though. A nice soft landing on the dirt. Gonna use the step up again. Wow, that was huge air. That's the second time he's hit that ramp tonight. Did it in skills. That one was even bigger. Now gonna hit that ramp that sent Colt Stevens a weird way, and a beautiful clean landing. That was execution, and now we've seen Jimmy Creten with each hit go bigger and bigger, but he's gonna need a wow moment in there because both Colt Stevens and Joe Dennis had them. He doesn't have one yet. The truck is also managing to stay together. I mean, it looks like it doesn't even have a scratch. Hitting the backflip, over-rotates it a little bit, but it's okay. But the, oh no, something broke. Matter of fact, it was not okay. The truck did not get to complete the run. There were 10 seconds left on the clock though, so a very full run. But as I mentioned, he needed a wow moment, didn't get it. But he had some really nice moves in there. The air was great. That combo was really nice. This sky wheelie is going to be a huge one. Look at that. Wow. That was big air. That's a bit of a wow moment in of itself. But the backflip was a good one, but right there broke something in the back end of that truck. And the truck could not go any further. It was a clean backflip, but not clean enough. So while it was not the full run Jimmy Creten would have liked, we'll see if the number is enough for him to take the lead. He had some nice wows in there. Score to beat the 9.186. Colt Stevens and ThunderROARus trying to take home his first freestyle win. It's not enough. Second place for Jimmy Creten with a 9.094, and that's right about where I would have put him. So Very fair scoring there for Jimmy Creten, and I like the freestyle he was able to put down. I wish he was able to fill the clock, because you never know what he would have done in those last 10 seconds. Making her third appearance here on the channel, make some noise for Jamie Sullivan, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Jamie Sullivan has been an amazing freestyler on this channel. She's made 2 freestyles. Both of them have been fantastic. She has gotten me absolutely screaming in some of her freestyles with some amazing wow moments, but doesn't have a freestyle win to show for it. Maybe tonight is the night here in Oakland, California, but the competition is even higher. There's a lot of really, really heavy hitters that are still yet to come. Guys like Scott Buetow and Weston Anderson are still waiting in the wings, ready to freestyle, so we'll see if Jamie Sullivan can get a number that is high enough that can't be topped. She is already getting big air, and I think that's the big thing for her. She is not afraid to go big for all 2 minutes. A lot of drivers played a little more conservative, but here in the Beam and G world, you gotta go pretty hard for your 2 minutes. That was a bit of a risky move, but it still paid off. Definitely a good run, and so far 50 seconds in, certainly setting a good pace. Now's right about the time that I want to see her pick it up a little bit more. This is the time where you can start throwing in the wow moments. We saw Jimmy Creten starting to pick it up right around here too, and he was able to get second place. A very similar run to this point, but now is the time where you need to go bigger. Wasting a lot of time kind of searching around for moves, going back towards this bus. Combos it into a stoppie. I like that she did that. That's something different. This puppy dog is certainly getting thrown around the track, but we aren't seeing the wow moments like we're used to seeing from Jamie Sullivan. She's definitely had her fair share of highlight reel moments in her 2 freestyles so far on this channel. She's got 15 seconds left to add some more. Going for the backflip. She's short, and she is able to keep it controlled. Got 5 seconds left. One move could make or break her freestyle here. She's going to get nice air over the FMX ramp, but quite honestly, left a little bit to be desired out there. This is not just any old event. I mean, this is Oakland, California. It's Beam and G. This is, you got to be going really hard, and I like the pace she had. The momentum was good. She had some really solid moves in there, but at the end of the run, there were no wow moments to look back on and go, wow, that was a difference maker. I think that's going to cost her a good bit of points here in this freestyle competition, which is too bad because I was really singing her praises entering this competition because of how good she did in her first 2 events on this channel, but today it was almost like she didn't really get a good momentum going. She never really found a rhythm, and sometimes that's all that matters. If you don't feel comfortable on the track and you can't find your rhythm, that's really a big difference maker. You want to be able to go move to move and really feel comfortable out there and really have your own flow going, and she never really found that. So I think the number is definitely going to be impacted because of it. We'll see what it ends up being. The score to beat, still ThunderROARus, and the score for Monster Mutt is 9.337. Well, that's not right. That doesn't make any sense. That was the worst run out of the 5. So Jamie Sullivan's your new leader, and that one was the... Whew. That was an interesting one. All right, next up in the freestyle competition, your semi-finalist in racing today, Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. He looked really fast in racing, and now driving the red Jester on this beautiful red track here in Oakland. He's going to take his shot at taking the freestyle lead. He starts off his run looking for his first competition win on the channel. Nice slap wheelie. Now, skills was a good one for him. He had a really good slap wheelie and a really nice sky wheelie. He was able to finish in the top half, and he is definitely an overall event consideration right now. He's in the three-way tie for third place with Coty, Saucier, and Scott Buetow. The only problem is the three of them are 6 points behind Weston Anderson, who was in first place with 24. So the three of them have 18. They're going to need a pretty big failure from Weston Anderson, and they also need to finish pretty high in the scoring here in freestyle. It's an okay run so far for Jester, but the problem is you've got to compare it now to what Jamie Sullivan did, which was definitely the worst run of the night. So this is kind of on par with what Jamie Sullivan had. Ouch, that's a hard landing. Body's starting to fall apart just a little bit. Halfway through the run. Matt Pagliarulo has competed in this building before in Monster Jam, but never here on the Beam and G channel. This track is really well designed, and I love the bus stack here on this near side. We saw Jamie Sullivan hit it and land on top of it. Very, very cool track here in Oakland. Got to give props to the maker of this track because it is a really good one. Oh no! That landing was definitely not what Jester wanted to do there, and unfortunately, the run that was already kind of lackluster ended a little bit too soon, and too bad. Matt Pagliarulo had a good run going, but you feel like he was about to start to unleash the beast in there and get some more wow moments, but unfortunately, he went big and got a nice jump, but this landing right here landed a little normally and then just didn't hit that ramp straight on, and it twisted him over and not savable either. So Jester's run is complete. We'll look at that crash one more time. It was a really smooth landing, but then just not hitting that ramp straight on really hurt him, and obviously ended up leading to the demise of the freestyle for Matt Pagliarulo here in Jester. Our recovery team going to get him flipped over as those final scores get tabulated. Jamie Sullivan is still in the top spot as your leader with that 9.389. Not deservingly, though. Your score for Jester is an 8.413, and that is in 5th place currently. So Matt Pagliarulo, unfortunately not the ending to the night he would have liked. Another man who is in contention for the overall event championship today, it is Coty Saucier in Monster Energy. Coty in that three-way tie for 2nd place, trying to grab himself an overall event championship, but in order to do so, he's going to need to put down a really good run, and Matt Pagliarulo did not have that great run to help his number out, so Coty is going to need to put a good one up here. Off to a good start, getting big air, and that is obviously something that is important on this track. We've seen the last couple drivers, Jamie Sullivan and Matt Pagliarulo, really not airing it out, but Coty is so far 2 moves in. The air is kind of more of a need to have, not a wow moment or a nice to have. You need to have the big air. You really need to fill the clock and get those 2 minutes. You want to go strong all 2 minutes because those judges are scoring you on those 2 minutes, and they won't just judge you off of one wow moment. Even though Jamie Sullivan took the lead with a pretty mediocre freestyle. Coty's having a good run. I like that he's getting nice air. Good recovery there. The truck was going a different way than he wanted it to, but he just drove into it and decided, I'm going to go that way instead. And that's the sign of a really good driver and a veteran. Coty knows his truck better than really anybody. This man knows how to drive it, and he is really, really good at putting down good runs. And look at that move. A bicycle to moonwalk out of really nothing. That is something unique that you don't see in many of these freestyle runs, and I like that Coty was able to do that. Coty was one of the first to really innovate the 2-wheel moves at the stadium level all the way back in 2018. Heading to that step up, that's given a lot of big air tonight, and he gets himself a little bit too. And the combo, there you go. Good run for Coty, and this is definitely better than what Jamie Sullivan did. The question is, will he be able to take the lead? Because he hasn't done a backflip yet, so that's going to factor in. The backflip obviously plays a big role, and he's not going to have enough time to get there. He's going to have to floor it right now with 1 second. If he hits it, he does. Oh my! It'll count for time. He slingshots a body part into the next county. So he at least landed, or at least tried the backflip. He wasn't able to land it. And that's going to probably impact his scores, but quite honestly, that was still better than what Jamie Sullivan did. So I think that should be your new leader. Will it be at the end of the day is the question we're all asking, but that was a really nice run. Let's just look at some of these highlights and enjoy it. Well, it was a very solid run, and looking at all those highlights, my gosh, look at that quarter panel that just got sent to the moon. Oh my god, look at that. It flung... that thing got sent over the stadium. Holy cow. I wonder if we'll be able to see it inside the cab. No, you can't, but my goodness, that thing was flown around. So while the recovery team flips them over, we'll get those final scores locked in for Monster Energy. The score to beat still belongs to Jamie Sullivan. With that 9.389 was the score. The score for Coty Saucier is enough. It's a 9.598, so the judges got that one right. Coty Saucier is your new leader, and that was a very good freestyle run for Coty. And we'll see if it'll hold up at the end of the night. So the three-way tie, we will get to see where it will end up being broken at the end of this run, because the next man in it is John Zimmer in Dragon. Now, John Zimmer has not been competing in Monster Jam for a few years, but his son, John Zimmer Jr., has been taking over the reins in the Terminal Velocity truck, and we're actually going to get to see John Zimmer Jr. back in Monster Jam a little bit this summer. But John Zimmer is the senior, and he is taking his stab at the freestyle track. Let's see what he can do. Nice skywheelie then, blowing the fire in the air. The debut of John Zimmer here on the channel, and I like that we're getting throwback drivers like this. This is the kind of guy that I want to see. I'd love to see some old school guys like, I don't know, Damon Bradshaw, Lee O'Donnell, stuff like that. I love getting people like this getting to compete in a show like this, because it's just, that's what makes Beam Monster Jam so cool. You can simulate the real thing really, really accurately, with more wow moments, more excitement, and you get to have really cool bodies and cool drivers like John Zimmer. It's a cool little event that we've got going on, and a cool thing that I'm glad to be a part of here at Beam Monster Jam. John right now, though, not getting the big air throughout this run that I feel like he should be having. We're already 70 seconds in, and there's really not been much to talk about. Nice sky wheelie. Sometimes it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, though, and he's still got plenty of time to finish strong. But John Zimmer's another one of those guys that I said is mainly a racer. He's not known for his freestyle skills. He can throw down a good freestyle, a textbook freestyler, but definitely not one to get those super wow moments. He's definitely one that you circle in the lineup as one who most likely will fill the clock. One of the more consistent drivers out there going for the backflip. A little over-rotated, and he broke the four-link bar in the back right there, and that's going to end his freestyle. Landed very hard, and unfortunately just a bit of an unlucky break. The truck really didn't over-rotate too much. You feel like the truck should have been able to withhold that hard landing, but unfortunately for him, this run didn't really have much to talk about, and landing that way on the backflip did not help him add a wow moment in there. Good look at it from this angle. You see the four-link bar just hanging down there after that landing. You'll see it even better here. Hard landing, and it just completely demolished that four-link, and too bad. Not the way he would have liked to go out. How it feels on the inside of a truck when you break a four-link bar. Just a stiff, stiff landing. Unfortunate for John Zimmer, but he still had a pretty decent run. But that's probably going to be towards the bottom of the pack in terms of overall numbers there. So Coty probably will be walking out of here with the highest of the 3 scores in that tiebreaker for the drivers that were tied. And yes, in fact, he will, as John Zimmer, getting that 8.942, will not be grabbing himself a freestyle win or an overall event championship today. But Coty's got to be feeling pretty good because he's got a really good number, and if Weston comes out and fails when we see him later on, well, he might have himself an overall. The next competitor is making his channel debut, but do not let that fool you. He's one of the best freestylers out there. It's Scott Buetow, Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. Scott Buetow, nice sky wheelie. A guy who loves to do backflips. I always would praise Scott Buetow as the king of the backflip, but that's huge air! Ripping the big air out, not even 30 seconds in. Scott was always one of the top freestylers and holds the record for the most consecutive freestyle wins. He won about, I want to say, 12 in a row in the summer of 2016, so this man is not a stranger to freestyling big air or winning freestyles. But the one thing he is so consistent at is the backflip, and I love that we're seeing not only this Hot Wheels truck, but that we're getting to see the slime variant. This is a really cool paint job that was debuted at the 2017 World Finals, and this thing was a beauty. Nice air again. This has been a lot of air in this run, a lot of air time for Scott Buetow here. And that's something that matters. Coty had a lot of big air too, as Scott just sent Coty's tailgate to heaven. Oh, it just came down. You see that in the background? The tailgate came down from heaven and landed on the face of the FMX ramp. Mr. Backflip himself is going for the backflip here. Oh, he over-rotated it! No way! Scott Buetow does not fail the backflip ever. And one of the few times he does is in his debut event. You gotta feel like the nerves maybe played a bit of a role there. Maybe the ramp wasn't built quite the way that Scott Buetow was used to seeing. You've got to remember, Scott Buetow hasn't competed in about 4 years in Monster Jam, so not used to how these ramps are angled, but nice to have him back. And unfortunately, the move that he has done so mmany times and has been the perfect backflipper couldn't nail it today. Too bad. And unfortunately, if he landed that backflip, he might have been able to take the lead, because that was a really good freestyle run, but just had a little too much speed on it and twisted into the ground. Just carried a little too much momentum. Not quite the backflip ramps like they used to have back in the day, and Scott Buetow was not ready for it. On the lid of that Team Hot Wheels Firestorm, he will flip her on over. We await the scores for Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. It's got to be in the top few. Score to beat the 9.598 from Monster Energy. And it's an 8.889. Now, I disagree with that. That was way better than what Jamie Sullivan did. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter for overall points. But it will certainly factor in when Weston Anderson comes out a little bit later here in the competition. Your next competitor coming up very late here in the competition today. It is Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken. Now, Nick Pagliarulo is your second to last competitor out here. Ready to take on this freestyle track. He's going to start by going head first towards the step up. Big air. And that is how he begins his run. This is the 4th event in Nick Pagliarulo's career on the channel, and what a freestyler he is. He won freestyle in Orlando last year in the Halloween show, and that is the only competition win he has, so this guy can freestyle. Keep an eye out for what he can do in this run. pretty evident right now. Nick Pagliarulo can fly. This dude is really comfortable getting big air. And I'm very happy that they got that truck fixed up after skills, because you might remember he had that big crash in skills and the truck was really not reacting well. Had a lot of issues with it, but they got it fixed in halftime and got it ready to go, and now Kraken laying down a very good run, and I'd say right now this is on par with Monster Energy's freestyle, and if he can get a wow moment, it might take the lead. I love that Nick is not afraid to go big for the entirety of his 2 minutes either, and it's the same thing in real life. Nick Pagliarulo goes full throttle all the way through. His brakes are getting a little toasty though. Keep your eye on that. It looks like his brakes are a little hot. That could obviously be a problem if he tries to kind of go around a turn a little bit tighter. He's certainly using the heck out of those brakes. He wasted a lot of time to get himself to this backflip too. Oh, he's very short on it, but he's able to land it. Thankfully, the tires really absorbed all the impact of that landing. He's going to hit the step up sideways. Whoa! Holy cow! And the Kraken is on its lid. Gosh, that was a brutal ending to that run. Let's look at the highlights of this freestyle, because there were a lot of them. Kraken most definitely was filling that run with big air all the way throughout, and I said he needed a wow moment, and at the end he really got one by just kind of full sending it. We'll take a look at it here in a second after this backflip. You'll watch him after this as he goes, well, we'll see it after we look at another angle. He just goes full throttle, completely crooked. I mean, ow, that demolished the tie rod. Everything in the front end of that truck was broken, and he just flopped that squid, octopus, whatever it is, over. Whew. Crazy ending to the run. Well, no better way to go out than in full send and in crashing fashion. Crash Madness nominee there. Now, Monster Energy had a 9.5. That number is not accurate. And Nick Pagliarulo does get third place at a 9.315. It was close. It was a good run, but it is not enough for him to take over the lead here, but definitely a good job from Kraken tonight. He's your final competitor of the night. He has doubled down already, looking for a perfect event. Weston Anderson, Gravedigger. It is not very often that you get to see a 3 for 3. Triple downs are virtually impossible in Monster Jam's world in 2024, especially in the Beam and G Monster Jam world, and Weston Anderson is about to make his attempt at it. Weston's competed on the channel a lot. This is his 7th competition. He does have a freestyle win, and he does have an overall event championship. He also is a series champion as well. So this 7th competition for him, this is a big one. Backing up all the way to the dumpsters. He's going to go full send to start off his run. Let's see it. Big air. Will he clear the ramp? No, but he's able to really settle it down nicely. Now, he got that first two-wheel skills win of his career. In my opinion, very undeservingly, but still got it. Now he's going to try and take down Coty. Now, the big thing here, a lot of overall points implications are on the line with this run, because if Weston fails to get a good number, Coty will be your overall event champion, because there's 6 points separating the two, and Coty's in first right now. Coty did his job. He now needs Weston to fail, but Weston has been on the rails all night long, and this run is showing that he's not going to slow down. He feels like he doesn't have any worry in the world. He's going to go big and not care if he flips over soon, because I don't think he's going to, and I don't think he thinks he will. Weston Anderson is so confident in that truck. And there's something that is dangerous about a confident Weston Anderson, and my, look at that air. Oh no, on the sidewalls, will he save it? Yes. That was almost really bad for Weston. He couldn't afford to flip over there. Right now, he is on par with what Coty Saucier did, and not only is he probably going to take the overall win, he's also going to give Coty a run for his money for that freestyle win tonight. And obviously the freestyle win, that trophy is one that a lot of the drivers covet, and some drivers covet more than the overall. The backflip is in his sights. He's got to land this backflip. Keeps it in a low gear, and he will land the backflip and pull a moonwalk out of it. Look at that moonwalk. Walked it a really long way. Decided to keep it in first gear on the backflip too. Oh, wow, big air. Went full send on the step up, and he manages to land it in a stoppie. Well, Weston Anderson, I think, has secured the overall event championship. The question is, will this be your freestyle winner? Certainly a wonderful freestyle. Gonna end it. Ooh, will he save it? Oh my, he's gonna have to keep trying. Yes, he will. Weston Anderson will end on all fours on top of the step up, and that is an amazing way to cap off this Oakland event. What a freestyle run from Gravedigger. The son of the icon coming out here, bringing shades of Dennis Anderson out in this freestyle run. The big air, the wow moments, the fearlessness is really what stood out to me in this run. This save was the pivotal moment in the run, because quite honestly, that was right at a time that was the wow moment he needed to really unleash. And he unlocked another level, and man, it was really beautiful to watch. This is one of the top BeamNG freestyles I have ever seen. Weston Anderson was delivering, and these Oakland fans and you BeamNG fans at home watching, my goodness, you got a treat to end the night. That was some huge air. That was the biggest air of the night, and Weston Anderson threw it into one of the best freestyles he's ever had. It just never stopped, and obviously this last move, to me, I think it sealed the deal to become the freestyle winner. It was the time already expiring, but decided to just throw it into a save for me that I think put it over the edge. Weston, that was a masterclass. A+. I would probably give that, with Monster Energy at a 9.5 right now, I would probably give that a 9.81. That was a really, really brilliant Monster Jam freestyle, and Gravedigger showing up. The black and green wrecking machine has the most fans of any monster truck, and really, quite frankly, in any monster truck competition in the world. And he showed why right there. Weston Anderson living up to the Gravedigger name. Getting a full in-cab shot here of this run. Quite honestly, we should be, because this was a beauty of an ending to the freestyle. This is deserved, and look at the camera angles that we're getting to see. Getting to see Weston hacking away at the wheel. This was great. What a run from Weston. I can't wait to see the number. I won't be very surprised if it takes home that victory. Quite honestly, I would be really mad if it didn't. The score to beat was a 9.5 from Monster Energy. We'll see what the number is to 9.784. Quite frankly, I had enough trust in those judges to get it done. Weston Anderson and Gravedigger is your freestyle winner. And wow, what a number it was. That 9.784 caps off a beautiful freestyle from him, and a really entertaining freestyle competition all around. As you look at the top 5 finishers here in freestyle tonight, Monster Energy got 2nd, Monster Mutt Dalmatian 3rd, Kraken 4th, and ThunderROARus 5th. But at the end of the day, that man, with that beautiful backflip to moonwalk and many other things, Weston Anderson won, and on top of that, he won all 3 competitions today. It started in racing, then went to skills, and finished with freestyle. Weston Anderson and Gravedigger with a clean sweep today. A rare occurrence, but it was utter domination by Team Gravedigger and Weston Anderson. 36 points. A perfect event, and a perfect way to finish off in Oakland, California. Ring Central Coliseum was a great time, and the overall point standings really represent what this event was. Gravedigger domination. Thank you so much for watching yet another amazing event. Thank you for all the subscribers. We hit 800 subscribers before this video. All the views on the last one. Very excited to see what is to come. There are bigger and better things coming on this channel, so just you wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you for watching. We will see you all in the next one.
On the day I was born, the nurses all gathered round, and they gave this one alone. She can tell right away.